Problems at Paula. Hey everybody, Walter Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. Just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So problems at Paula. Today we're going to examine the good, the bad, and maybe even a little bit of the ugly.
No, Walty, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and jets.
No, somebody's got to unpackage this stuff as we read between the lines and look between the ruts of what's really going on with the industry. Now, the reality is this. Decent racing, Weege, Bubba, loved having those guys. Listen, Ricky, you're the GOAT. Love you, brother. You are the GOAT. But Bubba has you so covered when it comes to commentating. Bubba is keeping it so real out there. He's funny. You know, he was talking about all the ruts. He's like,
see all the ruts he's on? My God, it looks like one of my fro combs, bro.
Like this dude's great. So enjoying that. Adam Cincerillo got to sit in, I think it was during pre-race, race day live, and kind of do a little bit of a screen test. And I love Adam Cincerillo, sweetest kid ever. And he was just so thrilled, like this is his dream. And I've seen a lot of other people get screen tests, like Chad Reed, Kevin Windham. I remember they had some guest spots trying to see if maybe they would be a good fit to be some kind of color commentator or part of the package. And they just didn't really have it. Even Ken Roxon, I think it was in the last Supercross race, the finale, they had him on race day live. And, you know, Ken's usually a pretty good looking, pretty on it guy. Even he fell flat. He was like a deer in the headlights. Adam, congratulations. I think Adam, they already said that he would probably be doing some more this summer. I think they're grooming him to step in and have potentially a job in the industry. So that's great. Adam really deserves it, and I think he'd be great at it, and I know most of you guys do. But let's go ahead and unpackage some of the racing. Like I said, let's start with the bad. The bad was that we all heard about the press day incident. It claimed a bunch of riders, and it was not cool. It was not cool at all. And these flaggers are a little bit asleep at the wheel out there, right? And we had that happening with Levi Kitchen. There was footage right there. There was a track marker in the track and a flagger just sitting there clueless. Plenty of time to pull that thing out. It almost ruined Levi's race. And I mean, he actually handled that quite well. But that was a little bit suspect. And it was only suspect even. It really became bigger issue because of what happened on press day. At press day, some heads are rolling for sure. And I think our boy Cooksey was reporting on it. He's absolutely correct. I mean, these guys are basically volunteers. And when you got multi-million-dollar athletes out there on the track, I don't think we should leave this type of situation to volunteers. I mean, we need train, like it's like you guys are trying to turn the series into football and playoffs and half times. The referees in the NFL get paid big bucks. Now, not to say these flaggers are referees, but in essence, they are. They need to be on it. I mean, when tough blocks get moved out to the track, these guys need to pull these things back on. I mean, we need to put more emphasis on making sure the track is holding up and these riders are being protected to the utmost ability. And we didn't see that today, did we? We didn't see that when that track marker, and the only person that was stoked on that, maybe a Cherubies, because they make those track markers, and I'm sure they pay and provide those track markers to be out there, but they got their name set on TV because Levi Kitchen, when JT asked him about it, mentioned the Cherubies track marker. That was kind of bad. Now, the other thing that's potentially bad is it's kind of delivered what we expected. We're all in Jett Lawrence's world. The only person that beats Jett is, in fact, Jett Lawrence. Chase Sexton looked like in the second moto, maybe he was going to make some kind of charge. We've seen this before out of Chase, though. And hey, no disrespect to Chase. He's doing a great job. He's kind of our best bet. It was awesome to see him close it in and make it even a little bit interesting. But Chase does what he normally's done even on the Honda. He just somehow has some brain fade and he'll almost wash out, lose it off the track. And that's what ended up happening at Paula as he's closing in at the tail end of that race. He pushed it too hard and found himself off the track. And that's just a common theme with Chase. But it was nice to see. Now, moving forward, and we'll do some polling. So if you're new, get involved. Get subscribed to the channel. Get over to the community page and participate in some of the polling that we do here. Because I think moving forward, I mean, Hunter looked pretty legit there for a minute. I just don't see anybody challenging Jett at this point, and I even believe at this point you're going to need a last place start at a Jett and somebody be on their A game to keep this dude from charging to the front. I really believe Jett, if he wanted to, could charge from last place to the front and win it. No problem. No problem at all. I mean, it's going to get harder because in these days, these athletes now, I mean, they're so even. Their training programs are so similar. The equipment is so similar. I mean, they're just hitting their marks perfectly, right? And that's what it comes down to, who can make the least amount of mistakes. And I saw very few out of Jett Lawrence. And I saw everybody else making tons more mistakes. And so Jett Lawrence, here's the scary thing about Jett Lawrence. See, Jett Lawrence is doing it, making it look very easy. Like back when Bubba, when he came and emerged on the scene and just he was the man, he was the fastest man on the planet, he was scrubbing, he was doing this ridiculous things on the bike, the whoop speed. He was still out of control doing it, but managed to still get it done. Although he had some spectacular crashes. But you could watch James Stewart ride a bike and have like no number on his bike, not even know who it was. And just by his riding style, you'd be like, dude, that's James Stewart. Like you would know. Jett Lawrence is doing it very efficient and very fluid. He's like an alien. He's like a freak of nature. So there's a good chance this kid could. It would be hard, but I mean, it's super possible. Not only does he have a perfect season, he does it back to back. I think that's going to be a storyline moving forward. Will he do it back to back? And his moto streak could pretty much just smoke Ricky's and Bubba's, and he's already on pace to do that. So that's pretty serious stuff that's unfolding right now. Now, the other thing about Jetson, I don't know if you noticed this, in his podium interviews, and I've noticed this is a trend with him, and I think it's because initially when he emerged on the scene, it was all rainbows and sunshine and all the suits in Wall Street and all the officials and people falling all over him, showering him with jets and donuts, and we got a business venture here and this and that, a lot of money. I think now he's made that money to the point now where he's like, okay, I don't need to be a sellout anymore. He felt like a sellout. He felt like the Justin Bieber of motocross, which is in fact what he turned into. And that's why you've seen him. I think he's inked up. He's a little more serious behind the camera. He's not all kind of happy-go-lucky the way he used to be. It is now all business. This kid is purely stacking cash. Now, that's the 450s, and there's plenty more we could talk about with the 450s. There's a lot of stuff going on in the 450s, right? I mean, a lot. But, I mean, and one of the things that comes to mind, Christian Craig finally gets back on the bike, and the dude still has this dark cloud just following him around. Again, Christian Craig had a horrible race. This is his last chance, I think. I mean, I'll be surprised to see him make it through the season, but I'm really cheering for him. I hope he does, and I hope, because Christian Craig used to have some pretty phenomenal speed as a part-time 450 rider, select rounds. I remember back when he was doing select rounds on the 450, and he looked great. Something's clearly happened to our boy Christian Craig. And it's similar to Dean Wilson, where Dean Wilson, I mean, kudos to him. He shows up on his own bike in a pickup truck, apparently, and put in a pretty killer finish. I know he's hovering, I think, first moto, top 10, and the second moto, top 15, I believe. Decent finish for a guy that just showed up out of the back of his truck like he did a few years back. Remember when he went full privateer on his Yamaha and then ended up picking up that ride with Husky and making that last a couple years. But his knee is so jacked up now. I mean, the fact that he's even out there putting in those types of finishes is phenomenal. Now Dean Wilson is great with social media, and he's a fun personality. He's got his head wrapped around this great. Christian Craig, I know they've got social media, but he's not quite the big personality, so I don't know how much social media presence Christian Craig can really rely on to compete at that level on a social media platform. But there's a couple things that really interested me. 250s, of course, Danger Boy 1-1 on the day, and he drops an S-bomb on the podium. All you haters talking shiz. What's up? I told you, hard work. Boom. He's still got that chip on his shoulder. Keep it, bro. Just keep the chip on your shoulder. You will always have one. Why you ask? Of course, I'm going to tell you. Because your dad had that same chip on his shoulder his whole career. He was anti-establishment, anti-industry overreach, He was anti all that. And you can tell a lot of that. And even though they've changed their ways a lot, that's something that Danger grew up watching with his dad as he idolized his dad. Now his dad, the whole family, all about family values, family first, God, country, family. I mean, that's where they're all about now. But Danger still has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. And that was rad to see, because you see, we were about to get overrun, and we still could, by the European invasion. Frenchie in the Real, he looked like, like Frenchie's gonna start mopping up the class. Danger Boy made sure that didn't happen. We got to give credit where credit's due. Danger stopped that train from coming. But Doug, same thing with Levi. Cook's in the kitchen, right? Cook is in the kitchen, comes up with a leopard print punk rock haircut. Boom, changing it up. Kept Deegan pretty honest that whole second moto after he got past in the first moto, kind of dropping an anchor. Looked like maybe that Deegan had him fully covered. He kept him pretty honest in that second moto, and I expect some fireworks. It's all about, at this stage in the game, with both classes, at this level, I mean, with starting grates and whole shot devices, I mean, if you don't get a start, like unless you're Jett Lawrence, especially in 250 class, if Danger doesn't get a start, he's not going to be able to blow through the pack quite like a Jetson maybe could. He's just not that fluid on the bike and efficient. He's a bulldog on the bike. Now, not to say he wouldn't make a pile of passes, but to come try to chase down a leader like Levi, Levi's pretty evenly matched. Now, they seem to have the rest of the field pretty covered. Triumph looks pretty good, right? Joey Savacci, almost crushing blow for Triumph. Joey Savacci had the fastest qualified time. He was ready to go give his fastest qualifying time interview in the pre-race show. And then at the last second, it got beat by Kitchen, stole it from him. And then in the first moto, he looked pretty good. Top 5? Jalik Swole right up there too. Triumph in their first outdoors. The bike's legit. The team's legit. They're doing something right. In the second moto, Savacci goes down. That was pretty unfortunate for Triumph. Triumph has a little bit of a black cloud because they're right there. They've got to be encouraged, but they've had some opportunities kind of slip through their fingers. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy. I want to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. Shark infested, outdoors. Welcome to the swimming pool. We got a lot to unpackage this year moving forward. In the meantime, Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.